In case you don't already know, there have been 3 pictures of the 2.0 editor leaked by Hypex. And I want to analyze everything we can in these images, to get a better look at what 2.0 will have in store for us. Before we begin, make sure to use code NOVAJ in the item shop to show your love and support. Thank you. We're going to analyze the images one by one, talking about what we can see, and maybe give some predictions and ideas. So here is the first image. And there's a few things to point out and run through. Starting with the big thing everybody wants, a terrain tool. It seems like we will have a terrain tool in 2.0, along with water tools, which brings me on to the next detail. Over here we can see tools for water splines, oceans, the water level. These all to me seem like we will be able to adjust and mess around with the ocean, and hopefully create things like rivers and lakes in our terrain. These are the main things I've been asking for in my MENA 2.0 videos, so to see it be a reality is so cool. We can also see some terrain and lighting things down here. Up here we can see that the person has used barrier devices, beacons, and what's labeled as Artemis Water Body Ocean Parent Sea. Something many people might miss is this message. It's explaining that the user has a SkyDome mesh placed but it's currently off screen. I don't think this means the device SkyDome, but instead an actual skybox where we can import our own skies and images, similar to Roblox Studio. Of course we have our files for galleries, prefabs, devices, and many more. And to follow this up, we can see a whole bunch of existing galleries to the left, so it does seem we will be getting everything from 1.0 into 2.0. And finally are these arrows over the terrain. It seems that we can pick up pieces of custom terrain and move it to our liking, just like Epic Games can. There's a lot to unpack, but it's so cool to see many things finally confirmed for 2.0. This next image I believe is a follow-up to the previous one, but still shows us some new stuff. As we can see, the user has now enabled their water and we can see it cover their terrain. Now if we take a look over here, you'll see a whole bunch of tools for the terrain, from water brushes, to landscape gizmos. I also did forget to mention that it seems we simply paint the biomes onto our custom terrain. As we can see a fade from brown terrain, to green. Also this is just a prediction, but this landscape streaming proxy that they are hovering over is what I believe to be their terrain chunk. I think that you'll click the add button, to them add a new terrain chunk that's not connected with the previous one, and can be edited separately. Not as much to cover with that picture, so let's move on to the final one. And here is the final image. I believe the Pokemon are custom imported models. It does seem that we will be able to add our own models into 2.0. But we will have to be careful what we use. For example, using anything by Nintendo can get you into serious trouble. Hence the funny file name that the user wrote. This is the first time we've seen the memory bar in its Creative 1.0 form. The limit does still seem to be 100,000, however I believe things in 2.0 will be way more optimized, meaning most things will cost less than they do currently. We also get to see custom terrain closer up, which is really nice to see. And of course we have the Pokemon models, files, and textures. Not too much to cover on this picture, but it's nice to finally see the editor itself after all this time waiting. If I did miss anything important, please do comment it down below. And let me know what you're excited for the most with 2.0. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.